Good morning, students. Let us complete The Gardener, a lesson by P. Lankish, which has been translated to Kannada by H.S. Raghavendra Rao. So we have reached the climax part of the story here. And we have understood the narration of the old man here, who is being the author himself, or the owner of the plantation. And he is confirming us by saying that his name is Tamanna. After the death of Basavaya, who is a rival to him throughout his life till this situation here, he feels here, my name is Tamanna. After his death, I forgot all my songs and ballads. Yes. So after the death of Basavaya, he had forgotten all his ballads and songs. So now, think about this change here in the life of Tamanna here. Why did he say so? What is the matter with Tamanna forgetting everything after the death of his rival, Basavaya? So he should have continued his life happier. He should have felt very happy that his opponent or enemy or a rival died, as Basavaya felt one day his disease was his wealth. Why did he say so? So we'll see. I was once famous became a non-entity, thus I avenged myself. So by this time in our life, the spirit or the motivation should take place, or understanding should take place, and we have to feel the real lament towards a situation or a mistake that we did in our past. So we should go back to our past and try to recall and remember our life and try to decide what is good and what is bad that has been carried from us till the day, and we should lament ourselves. We should realize ourselves, and we should get out of our so-called the difficulties or the pains, the difficulties, the injustices, the crime and the evil deeds and the bad treatments of us to the society, to the people, behavior, bad behavior, everything, and realize ourselves. And it is that realization, it is that lamentation now we find in the mind our life of Tamanna here, when he lost his rival here, when he reached the aged situation here, that he became old now, and as he is losing all his responsibilities one by one, and as he is becoming a non-entity in the society, and once he was very much famous and familiar and liked by most of the people in his village and the villages around. So he lost everything that he has earned, struggled, or whether he got some of the things very easily in his life. Everything gone now. And he started avenge himself. Yes, rectified his mistake, corrected his mistake, and changed himself that whatever I did in my past is not right. It's not up to the mark that I expected. Whatever I had the understanding in previous life was not good. So he rectified his mistakes. He himself avenged, criticized his own mistakes in the past. Your husband, he is flourishing today. Your husband is flourishing today as a rich man, the old man says here. Today, he is a rich man. Day by day, his richness improves. In prestige, his prestige rose day by day, higher and higher. He is not amenable to any advice. He is not ready to take any advice because he is rich, because he is prestigious. He feels that. So no advices for him. He will never take them seriously. So he is not amenable to any advice, and even I can't advise your husband because I am a worker in his plantation. I am weaker in everything when compared to my own master. He is the master and boss who gave me a work and who is taking care of myself. So I can't teach him, advise him here. Man is so complicated that till the day of his death, he goes on living for some revenge or the other, confronting one challenge or the other. Yes, man's life has many complexities, many complications, many rigid policies, treatments, practices, behavior, where each day of his life till the death, he goes on living for one or the other revenge on people. And he will be having or confronting with one or the other challenge in the society on the people here. The challenge which is unhealthy, the competition which is unhealthy, the very complicated nature of life of man as seen today. This is what the develops that we see today. Man is never ever come out of those things in his early life or younger life as such. Then the old man here wanted to take a break or a departure from the wife of the owner of the plantation here. So, dear students, just think about the plight or the position of the woman and the growth and the changes of the farmer's life. So, when you think about them, you can notice the changes throughout their life. From the beginning till this. So there are a lot of changes took place between these people and in their life. And you know better that we have discussed a lot on each and every change or act in the story happening between these two people. And we know very well that who is committing mistake here, whose decisions are wrong here, and what were the precautions that one should take here to change himself. They never give any importance to their future here. They never try to think about their future. What is the main essence of life? They never knew it. They thought that the competition is the whole and soul of their life. And they thought that it is their aim to challenge other people here. And they thought that it is their life. The rivalry, the enmity, the unhealthy competition is their life and is their business in the life. They thought that. So both these people were on the wrong side of the life. They never try to understand, think about these things of their behavior were wrong. In reality, in knowing the values of humanity, in knowing the values of life or existence for that matter, they fail to understand these things. But as one gets experienced, aged, then somewhere you feel like coming to an understanding of identifying his mistakes in his past life. So when you have crossed over, when you have reached almost the end of your life, then you feel like lamenting, realizing the things of your past life. Then what is the use of it? When there is no changes on time in your life, what is the benefit of it? What is the profit from this if you don't understand the reality of life? On time. So now our character, hero of the story wanted to take a departure from the owner's wife here. Amma, do not think otherwise. Just assume I did not tell you any of this. Or think all this happened in a dream. See how he is going to console her, the wife here. Owner's wife here. So that she should not take serious. So that she should not feel bored or unhappy and keep the same thing in her mind and go frustrated here. And he wanted her immediately to correct the mistakes of her husband here. So that is why he said, don't believe this story, okay? And don't ever remember that I have told all these things to you, okay? And think all this as a dream, that you have seen all this or listened or seen all this in your dream, okay? Forget it like that. And now, why? Maybe it is time the author has changed his mindset, corrected his mistakes. And maybe he feels as if the lamentation has been taken place already. Or maybe since he is a worker in the owner's plantation, and if he comes to know that all these things were delivered, communicated to his wife about his changes in his life, so he may felt bad, and there may be a difficult for the existence of the old man here. So he says so. The laborers have started going home. That young child of Lokya paints well. Who paints well, he is bedridden with fever. I shall pay him a visit. And finally the old man winds up his story by telling that, so I think he had a very good affinity relationship with one child there who is a son of Lokya, who is a painter. And I think he had a very good attachment with this boy there. And that child was suffering from fever and was bedridden. So he wanted to, meet that child. So he wanted to go from there, immediately. So she requests her, I shall pay him a visit. Now, bait him or go. So I have to, discuss what is matter with them. So I have to give him her gratitude to him, wishes to him to recover fast as such. So this is the way the old man, puts an end to his story here. Now, dear students, the last part of the story here. Forgive me, unable to elaborate, I have told you whatever I felt as it is. I had seen all this in a dream. Finally, the author wants to compromise with us here, telling that all this incident that he recaptured from his dream, He saw this story in his dream here. So, as I dreamt in my dream, in my sleep, I have narrated this story to this. And if I have made you feel unhappy, try to forgive me. And it is not possible for me to elaborate it because that's all I have seen in my dream. So I have presented it in front of you. So this is the clarification that P. Lankesh at the end of the story gives us here, because we feel the climax or the end of the story irregular here or incomplete, finishing here. So that is why, because the old man stops his story in between, there is no reaction or any emotion replied by the owner of the wife of the owner here, and we don't know what happened after the discussion as such. And meanwhile, the old man stops his story in between without completing it in a proper way, and he hides some more events. The reader feels that he hides something there, and he feels that the story is incomplete at the end of the story here. So that is why maybe, as per my knowledge or understanding is concerned, Lankesh has dropped this opinion about the end of the story here. So now, dear students, when the responsibility of you people comes, you have to read it. It is one of the scoring chapter in our syllabus. As I said, you may get a 7-mark portion or questions on this chapter, or maybe 5 marks on this chapter. So among these two distributions or plans of allocation of marks are there. So any one among these two, so you will have in the examinations. But as of our college exams or tests, okay, are concerned, so we are going to cover up for more marks here, because according to the syllabus planned for each examination, so it depends, in the distribution of marks according to the syllabus that we are going to keep it for you in the examinations. So we may ask 2 4-mark questions, 1 4-mark question and a 6-mark question on this story, okay, or 2 to 3 1-mark questions to you, in order to train you people, in order to make you people prepare, read the whole story and understand each and every theme, act or change that takes place in the story here. So I want you to discover the whole story and study each and every corner of the story and understand, because the pattern of our question is like that. So you will have 1-mark questions from this story, you will have 4 or 6-mark questions, long type of answering questions from this chapter, and also you will get a question on the grammar and composition in this chapter. So that is why it is important for each and every one, try to read it well. Don't neglect here. See, I have told you already, so among 3 languages, there is 2 languages for a student. So there is English is compulsory for everybody. So rest, since you have a choice in among Kannada, Hindi and Sanskrit. So according to the scoring till today in 2nd PU annual examination, so these 2 or 3, what? Hindi, okay, then Kannada, okay, then Sanskrit. Is somewhat easy, you feel. So there is a possibility of scoring, what is this, 100 out of 100 more in these sections. Every year we don't miss 100 in these topics. But in English, you can't express 100 out of 100. So either 97 or 98. So this is the mark that we expect, or scored till today in the annual examinations till 2020. Never scored 100 out of 100 in English. And as many students from rural sector, where they never exposed to the use of writing, reading, listening and speaking in this language, And maybe some of these students have never had a proper training in this subject because we lack in teaching English from the basic or the foundation classes. Made some students very difficult, especially the rural students, and especially the Kannada medium students will face difficulties. So they may fail to achieve good marks. They will score out of mark in PCMBs and above 95 as such, more than this. But fail to score 90 in English, whereas such students, even I have seen, scoring 50-40 marks in the examinations means, think how it affects your total percentage, 50 or 40 marks. In English. So how will it affect your total percentage here? For 600, you are going to lose, see, for example, think only you have lost only one mark in all these subjects, or maybe maths you have scored 1 mark less, or maybe physics or chemistry 3 marks. We will remove 3 marks and you think that you got 97. Okay, and on all the PCMBs, okay, leave got 97. That is 593. So among 593, if you deduct, if it is 50 marks here, so your score comes to 443 English marks. So where you will be placed in the toppers? So that is why be careful. Every year the students who are good in course subjects, very good in course subjects, are losing more marks in English language. And this year still we have a very difficult situation here, because we are lacking in time for preparations, and also we were a bit late in engaging language classes. But no doubt, and don't think bad or feel worry about this. We are going to fulfill your need, ambition as the old students had. We work hard and try to do well to train you people, to give you people a proper teaching and training within a very less time here. But only thing is, your seriousness is very important here. Your attentiveness is very important here. Your concentration is very important here. Okay, so don't neglect, take it seriously and work hard wherever you feel, whenever you feel, wherever you are. So take it seriously and prepare positively in this. Okay, so then if you come to the questions in this chapter, see on question paper in the page number 66, comprehension 2 you have. Okay, here, so you have a list of questions which dealt with 6 or 4 marks here. Okay, that is, see, for question number 1, how did the owner's lifestyle change after the arrival of the old man? So this is one of the important question in the lesson or story. Very important, dear students. And I think it may repeat also. And it is the plot in the story which becomes important to find out the changes that takes place in one's life may give us difficult situations or maybe happy moments in future life. So the decisions should be taken by us in right time, on time. And not only that, you have to think and get clarified whatever you think or do or going to do, is it necessary to build or to construct, mold, shape your future life? Isn't it? So that is why, as I said, and I was dealing with the chapter or lesson at this juncture of plot or situation, what were the changes? Okay, I have given you the answers also, right, from where to stop and from where to begin the answer here. So the change of owner's life after the arrival of old life. So that is one important thing. So second question, what advice did the supporters of Tamanna give for getting back his land? Maybe important one, and we can't neglect any part of the text here, plot of the text here, because they are all involved, included in our main questions here, or answer to main questions here. Okay, so there were three ideas or plans that they gave to him, and he never had taken any advice of his supporters, and he himself found a new idea of competing with the Basavaya here. The third one, how did Tamanna react to Basavaya's encroachment of his land? So in the beginning he felt very angry, frustrated, and he felt like taking a revenge on Basavaya, and he wanted to destroy him completely. That he says that he wanted to annihilate what Basavaya here, and for which he finds a new way that writing and composing and singing the songs and ballads here, and became a poet. And then later on, so when he has taken up this new profession of composing and writing ballads here, so Basavaya, he could not give a competition in this profession of composing and writing a ballad. So what he did is, he started improving his own material wealth by constructing a new palatial mansion and bedecking it with very costly, valuable stones like gold, diamond, other precious stones, and inviting the scholars, poets from all the corners of the place, and appointing the people to praise him only. Okay, and then he started encroaching, occupying the land of Tamanna bit by bit, more and more, where he never get any attention from the Tamanna here on the illegal encroachment of his land here. So Tamanna never shown interest or attention towards Basavaya's encroachment of his land. He left free to Basavaya, whatever he wants he can do. And after that, again seeing where he is giving a stiff competition, Tamanna, again he had a very important idea here. He thinks that it is the last idea. So let me see, even in his death, is he going to compete with? So that is the final thing where he plans for it, where he wanted to put put a complete full stop for the rivalry or enmity of Basavaya here. So those are the important points that I am going to give you on these questions here. So the third question. And the fourth one is, how did Basavaya try to overcome his humiliations? How? So by going on giving a stiff competition with Taman. So whatever he plans or changes, so he tries to do it. To more extent here. So whatever growth that takes place in the life of Tamana, so he also wanted to follow the suit here. So he goes on giving a stiff competition here. So that is why we see them rivalries, and that is why we see them, they were sworn enemies, so who are indulged in a very unhealthy competition in their life. So next one, then you can refer the textbook and the material that we are going to supply for the rest of the points here, because I am dealing with the main things here. Then see, you have a more number of questions framed in this section, that is comprehension third part, on page number 67 in your textbook here. Then first one, the rivalry between Tammana and Basavaya keeps moving from the visible domain to the invisible comet. Moving towards visible to invisible. It's moving towards to visible to invisible domain. He says domain. Yes. Now think about this question, and this idea here, visible, the competition moving towards visible to invisible domain. So you need to understand which is domain in their rivalry or competition and which is invisible domain. Visible domain and invisible domain. See, to till some extent, when the competition began between these two, Tammana and Basavaya, it looks as if it is a healthy competition. When Tammana bought 4 acres of land, Basavaya followed the suit. He also bought 4 acres. At that time, the people never felt anything to this change in their life, or to purchase of 4 acres of land each, both of them. They never, what is there in it? It is common. Okay. Then slowly, when he started having more number of friends, Tammana, in his village, he also added more than the followers and the friends in the village. And when Tammana also started having friends from around the villages, he also started having more number of friends and followers around the villages. See what were the competitions here. And all these developments or the competitions looks to people as if they are normal ones, as if it is okay, nothing can be opposed as such. Till here all the developments of this competition looks visible. So everyone can make that. Yes, it is quite unusual, okay, regular or common. So we can call those things as visible things, visible domain. But when he started, Tammana has started thinking differently. When Basavaya forcefully acquired 200 acres of Tammana's land, he became angry and came up with a new idea of annihilate Basavaya completely here. What was that plan here? What was the idea that he plans? That is, he started writing or composing ballads and songs and singing them in front of the people. Completely new profession or a new idea of Tammana has planned here. And when he started to compose and sing the ballads, though the content was all his experiences, that is the meanness of Basavaya and the injustice of Basavaya, were the subjects of his poems and songs. By seeing these things, Basavaya never sat quietly. So he also started to give him a stiff competition and tried to compose and sing the ballads or the songs here. But it was not possible for him, and he never became successful in this venture or a new plan of Tammana here. So he quits or stops then and there, and he thought that he can never give a competition in this way, okay, becoming a writer or a composer here. Then that is the situation where the visible domain started moving towards the invisible domain here. Okay, so then you will be seeing the changes there, how he goes on improving and constructing a new palatial mansion to himself and bettering himself with the valuable stones like gold, diamonds and other precious stones, and appointing the people to praise him and inviting the scholars, poets, critics to his palace, newly built house, mansion there. And he gets a negative compliment from some of the visitors telling, so without the books of Tammana, the mansion looks dull and weak. Okay, and all such developments, competition we see in the life of Basavaya here. And also he has started encroaching the land more and more in this situation where Tammana's attention was completely towards his new venture, that is composing and singing the ballads here. He never bothered anything for the encroachment of Basavaya here. So that is one thing we notice here. So there are still some more points to be included to your answer. Okay, refer to the textbook, and as I have given you, explained you many things here. Okay, concentrate on those points, because see, these questions looks very important for the examination here. So keeping our annual examination, so prepare, okay, these answers as it is in the textbook. Then and the third question is also one of the important one. So we will be discussing this question in the later part of our offline classes, face to face, okay? But till then fourth question, how does the reference to Russia and America provide another dimension to the story? Yes, we will also keep this story at the end here. Observe how the story employs multiple narratives and how does this technique unveil the mystery of human relationship. Okay, we will be discussing these questions in the later part as they require a lot of preparation and attention from you as such, because we need to trace out the points from whole of the story and whichever relevant points to support the answer. So we have to select those things and write the answers to the questions exactly. Okay. So by this we came to the end, the comprehension part on the story or the lesson, the gardener here. Okay, keep reading, preparing. I think you might have issued the materials also. Okay, prepare yourself and be punctual in listening to the recorded online classes. Okay, till then, have a nice day. Bye. Thank you.